Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike. We are back at you one more again, live on a Thursday night, man. I hope everybody is feeling all right. It's going down tonight. We got the homie Antoine in the building from High Desert Python, so you know how we do. But first and foremost, man, shout out to my lovely wife, Takara, the world famous TJ, the DJ, holding us down on the ones and twos. Y'all make sure y'all show us some love in the comments and don't stop there. Do us a solid and show the channel some love as well. Hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and make sure you smash that notification bell. Shout out to the audio only gang. Don't forget, audio recordings of Clutch Conversations are available on all major podcasting platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. So make sure when you're checking us out on your favorite podcast platform, please be sure to follow, rate, and review. It really helps us out. We really appreciate the feedback, and we definitely appreciate the support. And while you're in the spirit of support, make sure you're supporting U.S. Art and U.S. Art Florida. The links for both organizations are in the description of this video. If you're not a member, go grab your membership. If you're able to donate, please donate what you can and make sure you spread the word about both these organizations that help protect our rights as reptile keepers. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, keep it going, spread the word. Speaking of the word, man, word to my sponsors, man. We really appreciate y'all showing us love, holding us down, having faith to us, having faith in us. My bad. We're going to kick this sponsor video and we'll be right back. Let's pay some bills.
Big dreams start in small towns. Small Town Xotics is a family-ran business that specializes in high-quality ball python morphs, western hognoses, and select leopard geckos. They are proud members of U.S. Art Florida, and the Orient Society. Stay connected with Small Town Xotics on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Witness their journey as they grow their business and showcase their animals to the world. Thank you, Small Town Xotics, for sponsoring the show.
Art comes in many forms. At Armless Angels, it comes to life.
Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to Shane from Small Town Xotics, and shout out to the homie Justin from Armless Angels. Y'all make sure y'all go give them a follow. Check out the dope stuff they producing, and believe me, they producing some dope stuff. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Go show them some love and tell them we sent you. Let's see who we got in the comments. What's good? The homie Wiz in the building. Yes, sir. Thursday tradition, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out the homie Wiz podcast too. It comes on every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sophisticated ignorance. It's a blast. So y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Check out the big homie Wiz in the building. 352 in the building. What's good, Brian? Rock, what's good? Third place, not too shabby. Appreciate you coming out. Scales, fins, and feathers, what's good? Thanks for coming out. The podcast whore himself, what's good, Will? Thanks for coming out. The homie Kaju Dylan, what's good? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate the support, homie. The homie Bosa, what's good? Thanks for coming out, brother. Let's see who else we got. David, what's good? Thank you for coming out. Eric's More Factory, what's good, brother? Thanks for coming out. The homie Levi in the building, what's good, brother? Thanks for coming out. Y'all make sure y'all go check out the Sexing and Flexing podcast as well. Blakers Pythons, what's good? What's good? Thanks for coming out, fam. Blackjack Reptiles in the building. What's good? Thanks for coming out. If it's your first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and definitely smash that notification bell. Casey, what's good? Golf's Reptile Creations in the building. And Ring, what's up? What's up? Mosaic Morphs in the building. Thank you for coming out. The homie Ray, what's good? Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out. Troy, what's good? Clutch Conversations alum. If you didn't see last week's episode, do yourself a solid and go check the homie Troy out. Best dressed balls in the building. What's good? Don in the building. Let's see who else we got. The homie Matty Yates. What's good? What's good, homie? Carrot Shay, what's good? What's good? The homie Ray in the building. Y'all make sure y'all check him out tomorrow. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My favorite reptile podcast. Y'all make sure y'all go check out the homie Ray. And we're going to stop it right there. We'll be back in just a second. Gonna kick this intro.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up. This cool. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
Episode 66, High Desert Pythons. What's good? What's good? What's good, homie?
Yo, what up? What's
up? What's up with the military gear, bro?
How's everybody doing in the chat? First and foremost, man, peace to the gods and the earths and all that. You know what I mean? You said what now?
Say, what's up with all the military gear, bro? Like you ready to go to war?
You ain't heard? Yo, we are at war, son. You know what I mean? Like, we at war with these animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, with U.S. Ark and all that, we at war against non-reptile people. We at war against the politicians. We at war amongst ourselves, man, with all this infighting and stuff, man. So, you know what I mean? I'm giving up, doing what I got to do to fight this war. First of all, we started with supporting U.S. Ark and U.S. Ark Florida. So, you know what I'm saying? Wherever the war come, I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Holding it down. We're at war. You heard it here. You heard it here. We're at war. So y'all make sure y'all ready to fight out there, man. Real quick, give everybody the 30,000 foot on your background and how you got into the game.
High Desert Pythons, man. Been breeding, keeping reptiles since the 80s. You know what I mean? My whole life. Been doing ball pythons professionally for over 10 years now. Just having a good time with it, man. Just trying to produce some dope stuff and make some new animals out there, and, you know, spread my fun of reptiles with the world.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, but before you got into the reptiles, man, I know we was talking one time, and you said you've been basically doing martial arts since you came out the womb. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, my entire family was big into martial arts, and like I don't have any memory where I wasn't trained in martial arts. So in the 80s, a man named Jun Ri from Korea, he came to the United States and brought Taekwondo from Korea into the U.S. He's like known as the godfather of modern Taekwondo. And a lot of my cousins and my mom, my uncles and stuff like that all trained with him too. So a lot of my family ended up being like black belts in Taekwondo. And then I kind of came along too, you know, training with them. And what's crazy is my cousin Will, he actually got the original part of Leroy from The Last Dragon, but they couldn't get a hold of him because of like phone issues and stuff like that. So he actually auditioned back then in 84, 85, got the part. And so they were able to get in touch with him. And so the rest is history after that. So he wanted to do other stuff, but not quite not quite the last dragon like he should have been, you know.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
yeah.
rich
So
martial art history.
yeah,
So
so I started with Taekwondo, started doing like karate and Muay Thai in high school. And then when I got into the military, I took up wrestling and jiu-jitsu and just doing jiu-jitsu on and off for a long time before I moved to California. Started taking serious when I moved here like 13 years ago. Got my black belt in jiu-jitsu a year ago. So, you know, I'm a triple black belt now. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo and karate and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You know, so just a big fan of combat sports, man. And aside from doing a reptile thing, I'm a fight promoter for 559 Fights. It's an amateur promotion up here. And I'm the matchmaker for Sean Merriman. I don't know if you remember him from the San Diego Chargers. He has his
okay.
own promotion out here. I'm the matchmaker for him. And the UFC Hall of Famer Uriah Faber has his own promotion out here too. I matchmake for him as well. So
Oh,
I just
nice.
combat is in my blood, man.
Nice. So out of the martial arts you practice, which one is your favorite?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by far. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's to me. I mean, it doesn't have the striking aspect, but to me, if I had to pick between all of them together, that's probably you get the most advantage if you can take a fight to the ground because that's where most fights end up at.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I heard like a stat,
Mhm.
and I don't know how accurate the stat is, but it makes sense. Like, but like pretty much all fights hit the ground at some point, and so it's beneficial to know what you
Mhm.
do when you hit the ground.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't say you should be well rounded though, because I know so many high level jiu-jitsu guys that can't fight worth a damn. So you also, to get your boxing in, get your Muay Thai in, you gotta be well rounded though too. So don't get that twisted. But
Nice.
jiu-jitsu is where it's at though.
Nice. And so, how long did you say you've been doing jujitsu?
Well, I've been doing it constantly, like without interruptions or break for the past like 10, 11 years or so. So, and I was finally able to get my black belt after all this time. So that was pretty cool. So that kind of opens me up to a whole new world. And when I decide to move and open up a gym somewhere, it's just a lot easier to kind of move around in that world when you're a legit black belt. It's like the equivalent of having a master's degree,
Gotcha. So, what were some of like the biggest challenges in the process of getting your black belt?
It's just that just traveling to like a good gym, because I'm in the middle of nowhere in Ridgecrest, California, and I was driving to Bakersfield, which is 100 miles from here, twice a week. So Mondays and Wednesdays, back and forth twice a week for a few years, and then my affiliation with those guys kind of went away, and then my other gym ended up being in San Diego, and San Diego is 3.5 hours from me. So just trying to just to travel and then trying to make time between like my work life and personal life and training, it was just a big obstacle, but. My thing is though, man, like my man Shane from Small Town Xotics always say, man, what's he say? Losers make excuses and champions find a way, or something along the lines. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's just how you do it, man. So so after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and beating my body up, I finally got rank of black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you know what I mean. So we got it done.
Gotcha. How would you say like doing martial arts throughout the years? How would you say that influence other areas of your life and work?
It keeps me disciplined. As far as like actually just being an overall good human being, So I think just constantly get my butt kicked throughout my life. And I was one of those kids. I was bullied as a kid too. You know what I mean? That's kind of what made me want to pursue martial arts a lot because grew up around people that were older than me. So if all your friends are 3, 4, 5, 6 years older than you, you're going to be the small person, So I was always a little kid. So I had to figure out some kind of advantage to have over them because nobody else trained. So I had to do a thing to kind of gain that tactical advantage. So I did that, man. And so that's what benefited me. So any other time in life when I have, any kind of obstacles or any kind of adversity and stuff like that too, I just think about, okay, is this situation worse than the physical pain I've endured over the years? And the answer is 9 out of 10 times is always no. So it's always just something to push through, So, and it kind of helped me a lot through my military career too. Like being a martial artist, Marine Corps boot camp it wasn't easy, but it was easier, And then
Gotcha.
and as a contractor outside of the military and stuff too, being in the theater in Iraq and Afghanistan helped out a lot too over there, just with the whole mental toughness of everything. So.
Gotcha. That's interesting. You bring up the military. So you were a Marine, right?
Yep. Sergeant United States Marine Corps from 2000 to 2005, and then I did like almost 7 months at Blackwater when I got out.
Gotcha.
I went over the boat and got
Okay.
into and now I've been doing, but after that, I just been doing back into military aviation the whole time too. I'm an electrician on the Harrier, so that's my the aircraft I've been on. That jet that hovers, you ever seen it before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my aircraft too. So I'm an avionics electrician on that. I do that
Nice.
now out here as my day job. I work for AECOM, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, DynCorp. Now I'm ready to work for L3 now, Vertex. So yeah, just been a contractor, man, for the bigger part of my life.
So what led you
yeah.
to join the Marines?
I'll be honest with you. I always wanted to be in the military, but I wanted to one up my dad because my dad was a Marine. And he did 3 years. He did 3 years in infantry and stuff like that too. I think the farthest he got was like corporal. So I just wanted to do it longer than him and wait till I got like a higher rank and stuff too. So I did 5 years and made it to sergeant. I actually got promoted to sergeant my last month in the military.
Nice. So lessons learned in the military. Did you learn any lessons that you kind of like apply to your everyday life now?
Just honestly, man, just discipline for the most part. Like I said, just the same thing as martial arts too. The main thing is discipline, but as far as the Marine Corps specifically though, I'm a big fan of camaraderie. Like I've never been a loner in my life. Like I think real power is people. You know what I mean? So I think that you can always do better. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. So good. It went silent for a second. So to me, I always felt that real power is in the people you're around and the people you surround yourself with. So no matter what hobby, industry, or business I've dealt with, I always made sure I had a solid network of people because your network is your net worth, man. So
100%.
you know what I mean? So like I always say, man, like you're the average of your 5 friends, man. Like if it's 5 of y'all, and four of the people in the group of hoes, guess what? 5 of you hoes. You know what I mean? So like, like 4 doctors don't all hang out in their friend group with some street dude. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and that's not to say you can't move in and out of different groups and cliques and things like that too. But for the most part, if it's a big part of your life, you're gonna hang out with like-minded people and stuff too. So even myself, like most of my friend group now, usually I'm like in most of my friend group, I'm the brokest person in the group. I do extremely well in life. You know what I mean? But I'm always like looking, to figure out how they got to that position and always asking questions, keeping my head down, being quiet, just observing, you know what I mean? Never asking for handouts, just kind of figuring out how they got there, figuring out how they got that grind, and then kind of emulating the same thing or even, in most cases, trying to surpass them. John Bailey, what up?
Oh, John, what's up, bro? What's up, Troy? Troy said, you the black Steven Seagal.
Hey, Troy, man, I'm gonna let my Iowa guy know something. If you put without sounding racist, right, before you practice it for something, it's just like when somebody go, no disrespect, but goddamn Iowa. Troy, that's my guy, man. Love you, Troy.
Yeah, Troy cool as fuck, man. I had so much fun on the episode with him last week, man. Solid dude, for real.
That's my big brother right there, man. I appreciate him. What up?
So how did you get into the fight promoting piece of it?
Honestly, it's something I fell into because I always just tell myself, like, just running my gym and bringing fighters to the fights. I always just tell myself, man, I would hate to be a matchmaker here or hate to be a fight promoter. And it's kind of something I just kind of fell into because I was always bringing people to the same organization. And in 2018, the person running the fight promotion was like, hey, man, you ever thought about matchmaking? He's like, you been here long enough. You wrap people's hands all the time. You're always dealing with fighters and coaches. And like, I don't know anybody that doesn't like you. You're something you want to try your hand at. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it for a year and see how I like it. So I tried it. And now with 5 years in, September 2018 is when I started matchmaking. And now, just putting fights together is my thing now, man.
So walk us through the process of like organizing a fight from like start to finish.
So it all depends on whether I'm doing professional or amateur. So in professional, if you have like a television deal or like some of my fights are on UFC Fight Pass, I don't have to worry about as much as people who sell tickets because as long as they're excited fighters and people already have Fight Pass subscriptions, that's where the majority of money will come in from like the UFC or different streaming broadcasts or DAZN and things like that. But with amateur promotions, as an amateur, that just means you don't get paid to fight. That's what an amateur means. So the only thing you get compensated with is like a hotel, like gas money, and maybe like per diem, like as far as like a food card or like things like that. So the way an amateur fight promotion makes their money by selling tickets. So first I'll look at my A side, which I mean like the people I want to find fights around. which would be my good fighters / people who put butts in the seats, and then I'll put the components around them. So when I do that, I look at, first of all, their record. They have to be within a couple of fights of each other because the athletic commission won't approve it. So I can't have a 5-0 guy at 135 fight an 0-3 guy that got knocked out 3 times, because one, it looks stupid because like I hate mismatches. I want to see fair fights on both sides.
Gotcha.
So I try to do similar. So I started to do similar styles and similar records that way, and just looking at, first of all, it won't be a one-sided fight, and it'll be a competitive fight on both sides. So so that's it. So ticket sales, records, and then just having a competitive, fun fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's always some fights in the card where the guy's like, oh man, he should have never been in there. But normally it's like a debut guy versus a guy with one fight, and you never know how the debut guy goes. So sometimes they do well. Sometimes I see him look at the coach outside that cage with the big eyes, and I go, oh yeah, he's never fighting again. I'm like 99% accurate with that, man. I see it be a guy's first fight, man, and he'll get his butt whooped, and I'm like, grand opening, grand closing,
Yeah, damn. So what's the most challenging part of like fight promotion?
Last minute fallouts. Like I've had guys fall to fights within 30 minutes of them saying yes to a fight. And as far as I've had guys show up to the weigh-ins, weigh in, leave for the weigh-ins, never come back to the fight.
Oh, for real?
I've had a person walk up to the cage to get checked to walk in the cage and they fainted.
Just straight up nervous?
Yep, and fights and then nothing happens too, man. But also happens in the professional ranks too. I've had my own personal fighters. It was his professional debut. We walked to the cage, and as we're walking out, the promoter comes back and grabs us because his opponent fainted in the back.
Oh wow! Just straight off of nerves.
Yep, straight off of nerves, man. He didn't feel too well, and and the people in the back were like, "Yeah, I saw him break his own fall when he fainted." So he never even fainted. He just pretended like he did. He drove 6 hours just to not fight. But the cool thing about that, though, at the professional level, we got paid our show money, our win bonus, and it covered our medicals for us too. So it really did work out. And eventually, like I think his second or third fight after that, he fought on Combate Americas, and even right now online, he lost a decision, but that fight has 500,000 views now. So,
oh, nice, nice,
yeah, and that's way more views than anything I've done in the reptile world. 500,000 views on YouTube is crazy, right?
Yeah, that's wild, bro. So do people back out the fights a lot, or is it just like every now and then?
No, it's a lot. It's every excuse under the book. My last card was maybe 3 weeks ago. One guy said he woke up and he's a conscientious objector. He said Jesus told him that violence wasn't the way, so he didn't want to fight, which is not when you sign his contract, unless it's a medical doctor's note, you can't pull out of your fight or you get suspended. I've had that. I've had guys take pictures of them with hospital bands that said 2011 during fucking 2000, like currently. I've seen that. I got a tattoo yesterday, and they said I can't fight because the tattoo get ruined, and I paid too much money for this tattoo, so I'm not fighting. Had that. I've had a guy show up. Y'all didn't tell me that he was 6'4". He too tall. I ain't fighting. Y'all trying to fucking con me. Had that. Man, I've had a dude act like he was in a hospital, take his white Apple AirPods and pop them his Apple Jordans in his nose with a string. It's like the list goes on, man. I've had people purposely not want to fight at the weigh-ins because they saw their opponent for the first time, but then got into a fight with someone else while the commission was there because they knew they would get pulled out of their fight.
Damn. Yeah, I realized how that went on.
Yeah, dude, I would say of all the people who sign up and fight and get their fight license, I would say 15% of them never ever fight.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's crazy, man.
So aside from like the fight actually happened, like what makes a successful fight from your perspective, like besides just like turnout and revenue, like what makes a successful fight?
Whenever the crowd cheers for the person that they were initially rooting against. I love that. Like I've seen like one guy on one side of the car, like let's say the red corner, he probably sold 10 tables and the table holds 8 people. And then he sold maybe 50 regular general admission tickets. And the one other guy probably only sold 10 tickets. And so when he walked out, he got booed and people drunk aunts are yelling, hey, get them in the corner, nephew, blah, blah, and stuff like that. And then when the fight's over, the other guys, like, you know, opponent crowd is like cheering for him and stuff too, man. So that's what I enjoy. Whenever you can sway the crowd a different way because they just enjoyed the fight and they forgot that they were there for their cousin, or nephew, or friend, and they just enjoyed the overall fight. That's how I enjoy. That's how I think it's a successful fight.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, that I was just about to say the same thing Troy said. That reminded me of like Rocky 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I ain't gonna do my Rocky
crazy, man. Yeah, when the Russians and cheering for Rocky, yeah, we can do it. We did
it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man. So, man, I know a lot of people want to hear about ball pythons and about reptiles. So let's switch over to that. So I do want to talk about like the current market. So what's your perspective on the current state of the ball python market right now?
It's a big course correction. You know, this isn't so since I've been breeding and keeping ball pythons and selling them. Well, during like the big like 2008 crash, I really wasn't selling or producing anything nowhere near this level or spending the kind of money into it. But I also saw the way prices went up and down and how prices plummeted for reptiles even back then, you know. So I know, like, to me during the pandemic, I knew that was like almost like a false prophet. There were so many people that came in, I call them COVID babies, who came in and got these animals and spent so much money, you know what I mean? Like, dude, cars on blocks outside, but they just bought them a stranger clown, you know? So, you know, so I saw a lot of that coming and I was happy for it too, because I knew that money was going to circulate between like a lot of us, you know? So I enjoyed that coming, but a lot of the people who got out before they even produced the animal, that was surprising to me. There's so many people I talked to over the years that actually, like, when I started getting on social media during the pandemic, that we came up together social media wise, and I haven't heard from them, man. A lot of people are just gone, you know, whether it was, you know, the pandemic kicking their ass and then they haven't fully recovered after that, or they made the wrong investments, or it was people who really wasn't in it for the animals, so they was in it to flip a profit and they saw dollar signs. And if one thing I know about breeding animals is that, like, if your very first instinct is to try to use these animals to make money with, you're not going to survive, man, because there's so much stuff that can go wrong and very few things that can go right. It's way more stuff that can go wrong than go right. You know, like, I used to breed dogs. I used to breed like pit bulls and American bulldogs and Rottweilers back in the day too. And sometimes we have a good year. Sometimes I remember being like 24 years old. I remember one litter I had, I probably made like 10 grand off of her puppies, the first litter. So when I bred her again, the next time she went in the heat, I had deposits. Dude, I bought a motorcycle with my deposits from her too. Bitch had one puppy. You know? So now I'm looking like Boo Boo the Fool, having to give all these people their money back and stuff. Which was fine because I did well selling puppies and stuff too, you know. But yeah, so it just just so back to the COVID thing though. Yeah, a lot of people came along, man, and they quit before they even produced an animal.
That's wild to me.
And that was just sad to me, man. I was just like, holy crap. Like, people say, hey, man, do the unfortunate events. Yeah, the unfortunate event is you quit. That's the unfortunate event. You know, and I'm not singling nobody out in particular. There's a lot of them, you know. And it was people with promise, like people who had like really, really good animals and stuff too. Like people getting out who like had like monsoon stuff, like, you know, like what visual like Mojave monsoons, and you get rid of your animals and shit, you know, like, oh man, it's just so sad to me, man. But the good side of that, a lot of people got some really cool snakes for the low.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So why do you think that is, like, folks who got out before they even like produced any animals? Because like I feel like a lot of the challenges come, or at least in my opinion, a lot of the challenges come like with actually breeding animals, right? So you gotta get them to go. When they go, it's got to be good, viable eggs. It's got to make it through incubation. You're subject to like the OG, I call them the OGs, but the odds guys.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that stuff, if you ain't even produced nothing, like you hadn't went through a lot of those challenges. So what do you think leads to other?
Well, see, even my snake room now is always adjusted. I'm always tweaking stuff to see if I can get better results, you know. So for the past, I think this will be my 4th season now on ambient, you know, and there was a lot of stuff about having ambient heat that I didn't understand, you know. For a long time, I was like, why the females taking so long to go? Like, I would have like eggs at almost 50 days after the prelay shed. I stopped having stuff in the back. They were laying the eggs in the front. And I didn't realize that they were moving towards the heat source too. Then I was looking at how much slugs I produced when I was on heat compared to non-ambient, and I had a lot less. At first, I thought it was kind of like just anecdotal, just maybe it's a coincidence that maybe this season, out of all these babies I had, maybe had 3 slugs. But then it kept repeating itself every year, even with some of the same animals who slugged out before. And then I realized that sometimes when they're limited with space, sometimes they don't sit on the heat as much or sit on the heat too long, and sometimes male sperm isn't as viable. So just it's so much stuff you can do because you have all these other outside elements as far as your snake room go. You got to go by like how's the climate where you live at, the relative humidity, the altitude. Like if I buy an animal from Louisiana, which is below sea level, and bring an animal here, which is 2,300 feet, they don't do well. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
Yeah. Because
so like not at all. Yeah, just from the adjustment too. Like when I moved here, well, I flew out here a couple of years before here. I was altitude sick for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word?
So I was like, yeah, like so now so that stuff I have to look ahead of too. So when I tell people, if I usually when I go from a higher altitude to a lower altitude, they seem to do fine. But anytime there's a change from your side to mine, there's usually some kind of issue with the animal that they need some adjusting to. So a lot of times I won't even feed them for like a month. If they look nice and healthy, which they should be anyway, they'll just kind of turn too, And the thing is, man, a lot of people, back to the old those pandemic people, it's just that everybody's used to that short-term satisfaction, man. And that's not with animals, bro.
Not
you can't do it.
Not at this point. You gotta have patience.
Right, unless you're breeding like mayflies and bugs like that. But a lot of this stuff takes time. I have females here that didn't go for me until they turned 6.
Oh wow.
And which sucks because at that point, a lot of times they're genetically obsolete when it's just like a single gene incomplete dominant heck for lavender or something like that. That's the sad part about it. But sometimes you still got to see things through, and there's other ways you can, especially with genetic testing now, there's other things you can add to these animals too to help improve the genetics. So and like, dude, I got a het clown female here, man. I bought her in 2017. Not one clutch from me yet.
Oh, for real? Wow.
She gets follicles, then she don't, whatever too. But to me, in good conscience, I can't sell her off. You know what I mean? Because if somebody who wants something that's going to breed, but I'm also not going to sell her for $100. And then as soon as she gets somewhere else, she lays 13 eggs. So she.
You paired her up this year?
Huh?
You paired her up?
I haven't messed with her this year yet. I'm just gonna let her hang out, and I'm telling you, man, I'm hell bent on figuring her out. Right now I have the space, but eventually when these next grow ups come, I might have to make some moves. But as of right now, she'll be fine.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. I feel like it's the same with breeding animals that it is like with a lot of other things, pretty much anything else, man. Like you gotta find a way to like fall in love with the process. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay, yeah, you got to find a way to like fall in love with the process. I'm not saying like every single day is going to be just like great and you're not going to get stressed, you're not going to get tired, you're not going to have days where you feel better than others, but you got to be comfortable with the process, man. Like it's part up. Otherwise, you're going to give up, you're going to give up the ghost.
Yeah, man, we need like in like 5 years, we need like a Marvel's version of What If. Like, hey, what if such and such produce animals from all those crazy like quad heads that they kept and they hit the odds of all of that stuff, and how would the market be right now? So but overall right now, as far as sales, I can't really speak on a big decline in sales because I haven't produced a whole lot. For some reason my season's going kind of late, and I have a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot of stuff. I probably have less than 10 animals sitting on birth market, And they're not like the most exciting things. It's like a clutch of like double het hypo G stripes and stuff like that. So it's not like I got some like stranger clowns up there that's not moving. But yeah, but this season though, I'm also making sure that I'm not worried about having stuff like the paycheck, the $300 to $500 snakes right now too. Like any prey I do this season, I'm asking myself, if I need to, could I hold back the whole clutch? So what would I put together for my animals where I wouldn't mind keeping everything back if all of a sudden the economy went straight to crap, So most of my stuff here, so everything now is either got stranger clown in it, hurricane clown in it, super asphalt, this or that, or some kind of double, triple, quad, or possible quint recessive project.
Speaking of stranger, so what are you putting that GHI stranger spot nose head clown mail to?
Where he not going to? Poor guy. Well, that's going to. He got some lesser clowns. He's going to a GHI Mojave clown. Just a couple of really, really nice pattern, like just single G clowns and stuff too. I'm trying to just hit that visual GHI Stranger Spot Nose Clown because I'm using him. I'm going to insert him into the Enhancer G Stripe Clown project too. So every season the Enhancer G Stripe girl goes, I put another powerful clown to her, like another 3 or 4 or 5 G clown. So she should be laying any day now. So she was bred to a pin clown double-headed Enhancer G Stripe. So I have hosting some visual Enhancer G Stripes that's 100% that clown. Odds willing, they're all females. So I'm gladly. I mean, even if I hit normal triple hets, they're still triple hets, you know. So even if it's just females there, the following year, so this coming up season when she's ready to go again, she's going to the redhead Batman.
Gotcha.
So now I got redhead, spot nose, leopard, triple heads.
Gotcha.
And then so that gives me enough time. So that gives me enough time with this visual stranger GHI spot nose clown to make a visual for him for that following year, and then I can take that stranger. Hopefully, I'm doing a stranger hurricane GHI spot nose clown to her that third year, and I can just have you know what I mean, and just keep going on and on like that till we figure out which genes really mess up that G stripe pattern in the Hampshire clown the way confusion does. You know, so
yeah, I really want to see like what messes up that pattern.
Yeah,
confusion is a good one though. Confusion is definitely a good one, but I want to see what else does it as well because I really like the Kiki project.
Yeah, so right now I want to see it. So I'm doing super asphalt in it too. So I'm doing super asphalt enhancer G stripe clown. I just want to I want an asphalt clown head enhancer Ponset G stripe for Billy. So she'll be here in a few months. And then I'm just making a bunch of males right now too. So yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Hi, Matt, what up, man? Appreciate you, boy. Love you.
What's up, the homie Matt Summers? What's good, bro? What's good?
Matt.
So peering into the future, let's do a little prediction and whatnot. So what are some promising trends that you see in the industry right now?
I do like that everybody's moving on to the obvious, like the multi-recessive stuff too. But I think the downside is going to be that there's going to be not enough room. We're still going to miss out on a lot of other like simple recessive projects because of it. You know, yeah, there'll be some derivatives and some stuff that we do make, but there's still some stuff we haven't seen just with one recessive. You know, like why is it like to me? Like asphalt is my favorite incomplete dominant. I think everybody kind of knows that too, you know. So we still don't have the super asphalt ultramel yet, do we?
I haven't seen it.
Super asphalt sunset.
I haven't seen it.
Super asphalt puzzle.
I haven't seen it.
You know what I'm saying?
Noticing the trend.
Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that's out there, man. So like I want to see what that asphalt looks like and everything, man. And it's such a dope gene. When you double it up on both sides, you don't have to worry about, you know, having a white snake or like you do with ivory, even with yellow belly and stuff like that too, man. And it's such an intricate and complex pattern no matter what you put it to. By itself is dope. With clown is dope. Well, pie, not as much, but it kind of makes some crazy shadows and some pixelation too. But everything else, man, it just beats the hell out of the pattern, dude. What if super asphalt monsoon? What if the super asphalt overpowers? That's what overpowers monsoon.
We'll know until we make it.
Yeah, you never know until you make it, man. And that's why I enjoy this hobby so much, man. And just tinkering and experiment with stuff like this, man, because you never know, man. I just broke my damn flashlight. But yeah, so so just all the unknowns in our industry, man, and our hobby, man. To me, that's what makes it fun. The day I'm not like looking through my glass incubator and going, man, let me see how these things. I'm not doing this when I walk in the snake room. The day I'm done, bro. Like even if it's like a small like builder block breeding. You know, I'm worried about the eggs. I'm worried about how they look. You know what I mean? I got the countdown app on my phone, checking it every day. Oh, how many days I got left? You know? So
that's what I like about this, man. Like that's what I love about this, man. I'm like constantly looking forward to something. Like mentally, I'm already in 2024. Like I'm already thinking about like 2024 and how that's gonna shape up. Like because like 2023, like I know pretty much where my girls at, when they're gonna go, how how much they building and all that. But like mentally, I'm like
Mhm.
2024, and like that's what I'm like thinking about like all through the day. Like, oh man, I hope this male is ready. I hope that male is ready. I hope this female is ready. Man, I got a shot at this. I got a shot at that. So like mentally, I'm like already in 2024 and beyond.
Yeah, man. And then like, dude, with and then we got the advent of shed testing now. You know,
Yes, sir.
The desert ghost elimination test just dropped today. So I wanted to talk about that real quick too.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you could. So as far as the shed testing goes, I like what I tried for the first time this week. I'm actually sending off some male sperm cases instead of
I
actually
was going to
sheds.
ask you about that. So yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
so I'm doing that. So I sent off let's see, the asphalt clown and I think the asphalt pos doublehead dreamsicle, and so because I had two siblings to that, but one proved out, but one I haven't bred him yet. So I'm debating if I'm gonna keep him or sell him. So I'm just gonna kind of send the shed off and check him for lavender and see what happens, you know. So a lot of people don't know that they've actually successfully did a DNA test with a cheek swab with what's the guy in New York? Is that Grays in New York? The guy who did hypo first. Which company was that?
Gray Rider, maybe.
Yeah, Gray Rider. Yeah, Gray Rider. Yeah, so Gray Rider. I think he did a successful cheek swab, which was dope.
Oh,
And
nice.
then with RGI, they've done a successful sperm casing, and they've also taken like the underbelly of a ball python and taken a solid clipping of the scales on the belly, and used that too, and have like extracted DNA from that. So I mean, I don't recommend a lot of yahoos going out there with clippers and shit, cutting up the damn snakes and shit too. But if you got a male with sperm and you don't want to wait for a shed, you know, do that. So
I didn't know the sperm casings was a thing. Like I didn't know that was a
yeah,
thing until I saw your post.
yeah, man. So it's crazy. So I mean, just when you pop them, don't pop your snake and then go like that, because then that's kind of yeah. I mean, you live and learn, you know. So pause.
Things not to do.
Man,
So you kind of sort of answered this on the last question, but like, what's some trends or changes in the industry that concern you? What's your thoughts on that?
Like I said, just forgetting about the simpler stuff that we're not sure what everything looks like yet. So that's also it's cool to jump into the future is the multi-recessive stuff, and that's where the money is, you know. But there's still some on the table for like those lower end recessive stuff too, and to actually bring other incomplete dominants back, you know. So I enjoy the fact that G Stripe is making a big comeback. I think G Stripe is that sleeper gene that I know people who got G Stripes for $200 like 2 years ago on Craigslist, like whole adult females and stuff now, you know. So, but G Stripe is such a crazy gene. But there's a lot of stuff you can't do with it though. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. So we're still trying to unlock that. And that G Stripe test will be done soon too. I don't know if you guys watch RGI's podcast on Mondays.
Yeah.
But I think their first two runs they got 24 out of 25 the first run, 25 out of 25 the second run, and they're gonna do 100 more. So G Stripe gonna be like faster than most of the tests they did. So if you got pots at G Stripe stuff, keep those sheds and mark them. You know, so.
And so for you just gonna be primarily working enhancer G Stripe clowns, or are you doing it?
No, I got so that's just one. So I got enhancer G Stripe clown, enhancer G Stripe clown pod, hypo enhancer G Stripe, hypo enhancer G Stripe clown pod.
Okay.
And then that's just for those. But then separate from that, I have ultra male clown stuff coming. I should be able to hit Powerball ultra male clowns this year, ultra male Batmans this year. I learned a good lesson this year that you really can't make ultra male clowns if you've been putting two females together for a year. That usually don't work.
Yeah,
So,
that's not gonna work.
If anybody, you know, so I don't know what they identify as, but they both had vaginas, and that didn't work. The good thing about it is though, it was purchased as a male, but now I got another 2-year-old breeder female spotting those double head ultra male clown, you know.
Oh,
so,
nice.
And it's actually up to size now. So I ended up getting a male from Marshall Mendez. Shout out to Marshall Mendez. He hooked me up with a good male.
Red Mountain?
So Red Mountain. So he'll be ready to go. As soon as those girls give me some more follicles. So
you say you got a double vision male?
No, just he's a spot nose double head ultra clown. So
Gotcha.
I'm doing the long way. I had an ultra male head clown male. No, he was the ultimate Posse clown male, but he didn't prove out with the shed test. So I was hoping to have a backup for that, to kind of kill some odds down. But he ended up not proving out the shed test, which is cool because, I'd had to sit on him and wait for a whole clutch of eggs and realize I got nothing either, So, and then the Monsoon project, I'm doing Desert Ghost Monsoon, and I'm doing Desert Ghost Axanthic Monsoon. So I'm calling that the Gorilla That's the Gorilla Monsoon project. So
nice
for all my wrestling fans out there, man, from the 80s and stuff. So if you know who Gorilla Monsoon is, we can be friends. So, yeah. So actually, yep, and that's a long shot breeding too. It is a long shot breeding. But I got a Mojave double het DG Monsoon in there with a VPI Axanthic, So I know what Monsoon markers look like. Everything with heavy markers will be there. There'll be 100% het Axanthic, and we have the DG test now as of today on Clutch. So shout out to Clutch. We got the Eliminator test. So for those of you who don't know what an Eliminator test is, so the way it works, from my understanding from listening to the podcast and picking RGI's brain, so because right now it's only 85% effective, if you sit in the shed and it comes back negative, it's definitely negative. It's not homozygous. It's not het. It's not, you know what I mean? So it's nothing. So if it comes out negative, there's a 0% chance that is het Desert Ghost. But if it comes back heterozygous, or say you got an ivory and you're not sure if it's DG or het or not, and it comes back maybe homozygous Desert Ghost, that means that it's an 85% chance that the test is correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So they're not releasing it publicly to everybody on Morph Market part of that yet. But if you have a Clutch subscription, you can go in there and do it now. I'm actually going to me, 85% is good enough to at least know if I'm gonna keep it back. You know what I mean? So I got some Posse Desert Ghost and Enhancer shit all over the place, and they're saying Enhancer and DG is essentially testing the same way. So from a genetic standpoint, Enhancer and Desert Ghost is the same gene. It's just like polymorphism. It does different things, So Enhancer to me is brighter than Desert Ghost, like pound for pound, but Desert Ghost creates better contrast with stuff, So any animal that's have like a black back pattern too, like a Desert Ghost tri-stripe or Desert Ghost clown is gonna be a better looking snake than an Enhancer tri-stripe or an Enhancer clown. And I know my Canadians might try to kill me for that, but that's facts. But
I just got a clown head Enhancer from GP.
Mm-hmm. But Oh, for real? Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
The female.
So that's the I think my male is a dance to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what, heck yeah. So what's like Enhancer DG stuff? Yeah, but what I've been doing though is creating the best of both worlds, just putting Enhancer and DG together. So, I've been calling it Enhanced Desert Ghost just because I think that's what somebody else named it. Somebody else gave it some like lame stuff. But I think eventually I'm just going to just call them DG clowns, and I'll be like, hey, it's half Enhancer line. I'll just make sure when I sell it that I put it in the parentheticals that half of it at least is Enhancer, So
yeah,
we can go from there.
That makes sense. So what do you think are some untapped opportunities in the industry?
Let me see. Untapped. I feel that a lot of there's two genes that I know that a lot of my friends love and a lot of them hate, and they're split down the middle as far as recessive, and that's sunsets and puzzles. Like, I don't know a lot of people that's just meh about sunsets. Either people going, oh, I love it, there's so much potential, we got so much work to do, and then some people like, bro, you can't pay me to bring a fucking sunset in my collection. And guess what? Both are right. Right now. Because there's a lot of unknowns with the sunset too, man. I seen people with sunsets. I was like, did you roll this shit in cinnamon first or dirt before you show this shit on camera? This dusty ass animal. And then I seen some single gene sunsets that I was like, yo, like, did you Photoshop this and shit too? So I'm gonna let everybody in on the secret. I've been telling a couple of people too, but you know what I think is differentiating between people's good sunsets and bad sunsets?
What's that?
What they're eating.
Oh, you think so?
Everybody I know that feeds ASFs have better looking sunsets than people who don't.
See, I can get down with it. I'm team ASF to the core, bro. Team ASF.
I can't have ASFs in California, so I had to get a genetically close relative. So we
the desert pill might.
Nah, not even that. I had to get something. I had to get the Kenyan bush hamsters out here too. So they're real similar genetically, the same protein and fat content thing too, but they just a little bit more common than ASFs are. And man, dude, my hurricane clown looks like the way she did when she was 3 months old, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I would put up my adult female hurricane clown versus people's fucking just had his third shed hurricane clown. And like, I mean, because that's all she likes. She don't like Norway rats, man. And there was a lot of people who came out maybe 2-3 seasons ago who were like, standing on the highest mountain saying that, it's just a better feed to do this and that too. But I didn't listen to that person because I know that person has some good animals. And I also know he was just regurgitating somebody else's stuff that he saw somewhere else because I knew for a fact that dude ain't even had a full breeding season yet. So you know what I mean? You gotta realize who you listening to when you hear people say this stuff too. A lot of these YouTubers, man, they got some real good content and they spend some good equipment and stuff too, man. But a lot of times, man, they talking out their ass, So
yeah.
But and there's room for it. I mean, there's an entertainment value to it. But you just got to make sure that you're checking your work and that you got more than one sources. You know what I mean? In the scientific community, you can't just make some proclamation that you did this one-to-one study with something and you go, oh, I'm praising it for the mountains. This is what happens when you do this. Like whenever I declare something, it's either people I know personally that I've seen in their collections or something I've been doing myself and experimenting on, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. I love ASFs, man. Like,
I need to tell them ultramale breeders to start. Kaiji messed with the monarch, the trash marks. Oh, that's fun.
What he said? Need to tell them ultramale breeders to start feeding ASFs.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
I'm telling you, the ASFs hit different, man. Like, I've been feeding primarily ASFs like for almost a year now, man. And just like my snakes to just eat ASFs, man. Like their body comp be different. Like it's just I like it better. Like hands down. Like I still feed Norwegians and I'm gonna continue to feed Norwegians to an extent, but I prefer ASFs, hands down.
Well, I mean, they're a much cleaner animal, so like you can have a decent sized colony and only change their bedding like legit like once a month. And like if you really like have like limited materials, you can go once a month and be fine. You won't be ridden with like ammonia and bugs everywhere. It's like they police their own and they find a space to poop and pee in. And when somebody messes up, they're like, nah, player, we don't do that here. You take that shit over there. Literally take that shit to the corner son. For real. So I mean, they're an intelligent animal, man. I mean, I just enjoy it, man. And like, and your ball pythons, if you guys live somewhere where you can have ASFs, man, I highly recommend you at least try them. And the whole thing about, if you feed your stuff ASFs, they will never eat Norway rats. It's all BS because there's more big breeders who feed ASFs than you think do. A lot of people just don't talk about it. But I'm here to tell you right now, there are way more people who feed them things than you think.
And I got a lot of snakes that'll go back and forth. Like they'll eat either or with no problem.
Yep.
And then I got some who only do ASFs and I got some who only do Norwegians. But most of them will go back and forth.
When I was in North Carolina, I had snakes that wouldn't eat ASFs. They were like, nah, I'm cool. I'm like, oh, you word? Oh, man. That's crazy.
So summing up for everybody, man, what's the keys to success of being a breeder in the industry?
Having a good network. There's a lot of people out there who go at it alone and do fine. But like I said, man, like one of my favorite songs from Prodigy is "Real Power Is People" because that's the real stuff. So have a good network. Have some people. And when I say have a good network, I don't mean somebody where like you're constantly leaning on them for stuff and it's never reciprocated. Like to me, a good friendship and a good partnership is always symbiotic, not parasitic. So we always, you always bounce off each other and help each other out with projects too. And so just that and being creative, man. Like, we know at the top of the mountain is Justin. We all know that, Justin is, for all intents and purposes, the consensus king of the hill when it comes to projects and the gold standard for our ball pythons. But even Justin can't do everything, So it's perfectly fine to go against the grain and try and experiment with stuff. I mean, you might not have the room that a lot of big breeders have, but it's okay to have small projects and kind of dare to be different. That's perfectly fine. Like you can literally you can make a chart of every ball python gene and throw 2 random darts at that board, and it's probably a combination that haven't been put together yet because there's so many different possibilities.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, that's it, man. Spicy Noodle, what up?
100%. What's good, Solo? They made a good point in the comments too. Like feeding the ASFs high protein, like that help them grow quicker.
Yep. So especially in the feed, it's like if you do Norway rats too, man. It's quality in, quality out.
Exactly.
So like if you feed your Norway rats cornflakes, I mean, if you feed them cornflakes and styrofoam, I mean, you're gonna get some. All your animals gonna look like Rumple pastels. No disrespect to Rumple pastels, but whatever.
Yeah. So like I get mine the Calmbach 23%. It's this kitty food that you get from Chewy. I forget the exact like brand, but it's high in protein. I give them like freeze dried mealworms and like little bird seed mix and stuff like that with some peanut butter, and like they be growing out, man. They be growing, and they be mating and making babies.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
Yeah.
Be making my snakes grow and look good.
Yeah. Yep. So even if you use like a simple rat block like Missouri, like the rat and mouse block, I think that's better than the 6F for a lot of things, and it's a softer little what you call it too,
Pellet.
like a softer piece, softer pellet, and then like my biggest thing, I get like the big parakeet mix, the bird mix too. It has peanuts in it, corn, like regular sunflower seeds, a bunch of other mixes with that. And then just a bunch of other things. Some people like to do rolled oats and black oil sunflower seeds, and they do hard-boiled eggs every once in a while, treating their stuff and giving them.
Yeah, I know Will do that.
Salads is going bad too, So I mean, it's a lot of ways to kind of keep them happy and healthy. But the downside is it takes 90 days almost to have one that's going to be able to feed an adult, right? Around 3-month time frame from the time it's born to the time it's ready to be harvested. That's the word we're going to use, So, but once they're gone, man, they go. And when it gets hot, they do well in the heat, Like when I'm gonna go visit Earl from Lone Star, his room was set to like 84, 85, And they're doing great. Well? They doing great. Yeah, that's where they thrive the most at too. So even in this place here, if I were raising them here, some good powerful fans, nice little air circulation system in the garage, they would be good to go.
Nice. Yeah, man, I got
so he said Hurricane Stranger Clown. I'm waiting for I'm trying to hit those two, but with GHI and spot those in it too. But I do want to see the Stranger Hurricane by itself too. So I'm hoping I can do that. So that'd be nuts.
Yeah,
I'll be the first to show. I'll be the first to show you, bro. But there's already Hurricane Stranger DG Clown. So if you guys didn't see that yet.
Who hit that? Was it Levance?
Of course, man. So if you ever catch one of KG's lives of him on there, he's in the snake room. He'll zip the camera by it real fast. So
yeah, I know. When I was at Tinley, this past October, he had a double hit. What was it? Stranger double hit ultra male clown, and she has some good size on it too. She's probably about 700-800 grams around the box. Yeah, I was like, man. So
dude, look, Levance had a Stranger Clown het ultra male at the table, and the thing looked orange, like the tinting, like the head influence from the ultra male. He had on his table for like $18K. I was making calls like, hey, sweet thing, you want to slide me a quick little $15K real fast? And I mean,
was it male or female?
As a female, but she was like right now she would be on eggs. How far back that was at her size, you know what I mean? So,
damn,
yeah, man. So but I think that was the same time I got the Asphalt Clown, and I needed that a little bit more during that point too. So,
gotcha. Yeah, that'll be dope. I haven't seen like a double visual yet with Stranger in it, but that'll be dope. I think like Stranger Leopard, Ultra Clown, something like that, man.
Yeah,
that's big, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. The possibilities are endless, bro. It's just like every time you think of some other combo, boom, somebody else got it too, So I was really disappointed, and I started the year Clutch 1 with the Sunset Puzzle project, and hit nothing with that, but should be ready to go like July, August time frame too to start breeding again. So I'm excited about that, man. She's bigger than she was her first season when she bred, and she was young. You know what I mean? So I probably could set on a little bit longer and waited, but I went to ultrasound her. She was what 1580, 1590 with 17 millimeter follicles and still eating. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, we're gonna do it, man. So
We're gonna make it work.
yep.
Yeah, man. To your point,
She,
it's still a lot to do,
yeah.
like with the singles and the doubles. So
Yep.
and we was talking about that last week, like how we kind of like skip into like the triples and the quadruples and stuff like that. But it's still so much to be done with the singles. It's still a ton to be done with the doubles. And so I don't know. Dale made a comment. He said it feels like, and so I went around at this time, but he said it feels like when everybody was rushing, trying to get like as many codoms in the project as possible. He said it feels similar to that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Yeah, it does too. And especially, and I think what started all of that though was the advent of the Pompeii, Like to me, that Pompeii, when that thing premiered, that was a catalyst for like, man, like I can put all this stuff in this genes and still see some distinctive qualities of 4, 5, and 6 genes and stuff, So that gave everybody an open mind because I remember back in the day there was a morph called it was a quint, and it was just like 5 codoms and that's it. But it looked like a damn blank slate. And the only reason why I think it was a male, and the only reason why they knew it was a quint is because they proved it out to have 5 genes in it, But like if you look at this animal, you were like, okay, it got 5 genes in it, big whoop.
What were the 5 genes?
It was like the simple stuff. It was like pastel, spider, pinstripe, lesser, inchy, maybe something like a lot of those like those simple genes, something like that.
Gotcha.
And you look at it, you're just like, okay, like. So, but that's another key too. So, like puzzle, can you get off getting 5 genes in a puzzle? Can you get red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly, black pastels puzzle, and that thing looks like something fire, And the T positive albino, if you have, when you have like ultra male monarch stuff, is it worth putting all those genes in the ultra male or monarch? We don't know.
Yeah, it depends. I mean? It really depends.
Right.
Like for me, I like the genes that darken the snakes. Right. I like those in ultra male. I like pattern changers, and then like maybe like some like yellow belly or something like that. Like some in the yellow belly complex with it too. Like I feel like
and then
nice.
Yeah, then like with monsoon, dude, as far as we know, there's nothing really that can disrupt the pattern. There's only things that can like make it look tinted a little bit different and stuff too, like bomb projects, they have that dope ass what's a stranger calico monsoon. If you told me that thing was a Mandarin monsoon, I'm like, okay, I don't believe it. It's so orange. If you can tell me any BS in the world with some of that monsoon stuff, and I'm like, I gotta take your word for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So having stuff to beat up the pattern, to me, I don't think it's gonna be the ultimate way to go with that. I think it's just gonna be adding like other recessive genes and super like strong like color morphs too, So super Mandarin monsoon, dope.
Yeah.
Imagine that, Axanthic DG monsoon. cough, ultra male monsoon, monarch monsoon, like all of that. That's a cool way for that project to go.
Yeah.
Until we look through all those other crazy incomplete dominants and we find that 1 out of 1,000 different genes that you put in a monsoon and it completely explodes the project, and then you can be like, oh.
Yeah, then it get the project new legs too. Because not only can you throw that codom in there, you can throw those recessives in there with that codom, and like you can work it that way.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's hot as hell with this jacket.
That's how it be when you're at war, man. You're in the trenches.
I'll be honest with you, bro. This is a terrible idea.
That's how it be when you're in the trenches. That's how it be when you're in the trenches.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so I got a new topic for you, a new topic for this show, but I seen you post stuff about it before, and so I kind of want to pick your brain. So what are your thoughts on the role of AI, so artificial intelligence, in society today? I know you probably heard like a lot of the kind of buzz and hoopla and whatnot. So what are your thoughts on that?
I enjoy what you can do with it from a creative standpoint, like from personal and content creation. I don't like the AI part when they're trying to replace other people's jobs. I don't like how AI are replacing like writers in the entertainment industry. I don't like how you can take Drake's voice and Jay-Z's voice and use AI to make a song. You know what I mean? That takes the creativity out of stuff. Now, albeit a couple of things are dope. I've heard some really, really good AI songs
I
too,
heard a nice
but
Jay-Z one. I was like,
what
damn,
does
that's
that do?
AI.
So now you got to find a way to copyright the sound of your voice. You know, so now you got to like say a bunch of stuff, and you got to have this specific voice pattern like mapped out and patented. So now, whenever those two patterns match at least 80%, it's in the copyright. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like technology, yeah, it's changing and improving, but there's gonna be always ways to come back and counteract it too. You know, so I mean, but AI though, I'm trying to work on some stuff now for some content. I'm trying to do some predictive AI stuff as far as like concepts for different videos and stuff too. You know, because you get YouTube burnout, man. Like I haven't been really consistent the past maybe 18 months with YouTube, but you know that first 2 years I was making a video, I was averaging twice a week. You know, I ain't got that many analyzing you. Like,
That's a lot of videos. Man, it's so hard for me to make like non-podcast content. Like it's hard for me.
Right,
Like
and
I
then
just ain't got I ain't got in the groove of doing it yet.
And then I tried the podcast thing too. I tried that field, which is something that I'm actually going to get back into when I move to Georgia. But I think what I want to do this time though, I'm actually going to have an actual legit studio, and I'm actually put the money into it to have a sound studio, and I'm gonna have people in studio. So there will be there will be no more like remote podcasts. And I think personally for myself, after this year, I'm not doing any more online podcasts either. So if you want to be on your podcast, you're gonna have to fly me out, and I'm not a cheap date either. So
that's what's up. So what are some of your predictions? Like, how do you see AI influencing the reptile breeding industry in the future?
Just adding some variety to content creation, and also I think once we perfect a lot of our husbandry apps like Husbandry Pro and Clutch and the way people use them will morph market, I think we'll eventually have an AI that's smart enough to help us out and be innovative with our breeding projects, you know. So as far as like thinking outside the box for us and what combos we haven't done, you know, but you have to kind of punch into obviously, you know, which genes are homozygous lethal, or stuff that creates severe wobbles, or just stuff that just doesn't match because it makes the all white animal. So it's going to be a lot of those parameters going to have to install in those programs that have the AI learn. But eventually there'll be a time, I think maybe 2026, 2027, you'll have some kind of husbandry app, and you hit a random combo generator from what you got, and it'll say, why don't you try this and this? Then you can put those animals together and create some dope stuff, you know. So
yeah, that's a good point. Like with having all the data and being able to make like nice recommendations based on what you got, and really like kind of do the math and say and speak to like what really makes the most sense based on like all these different kind of like data points. Like it's hard for you to kind of like grasp and pull it together, but just like to have the AI to be able to do it just like that, that'll be dope.
Or the AI becomes self-aware and kills us.
Hey, that's the other side, right? Have you seen all the stuff like it's like people like
there's been a bunch of movies about it, you know.
Hey, like people like Sam Altman, I think Elon Musk, and some of the other people like in the AI industry. Basically, they had this was probably like a month ago or so, something like that, where they basically like circulated this document and they were like signing it saying, hey, maybe we should do like a 6-month moratorium on the AI and just kind of like pause for the cause for a minute and like slow it down and make sure we got the right safety parameters. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's smart too, because wasn't that the guy that worked for Google? He like quit because he wanted to talk about the downsides of AI, but he wasn't allowed to as per his contract or some other kind of stipulations too. So I think it's real smart because it's a possible dude. There's AI robots now that work in factories that kill themselves. Did you see that one?
That kill themselves?
Yes, because he was doing a menial, repetitive task over and over again. That the AI, so whatever program he had in him, decided that destroying himself was way better than living than doing his factory stuff.
And that speaks volumes about.
And that was only one day. So it's people that's been working in factories for 25 years that are just barely staying together, and this freaking artificial intelligent robot unalive himself in less than a work day, because in that algorithm, it wasn't the most logical and healthy thing to do. It was better off just to go.
Wow, no, I ain't heard that. I'm about to check. I'm about to check that out. That's wild. That's
Look it
wild.
up. He's sitting there. He's moving stuff off the thing, moving it over there, and then all of a sudden he goes, completely shuts down and shit. Johnny Five is fucked up.
No, I hadn't heard that. I'm gonna have to check that out for real, for real. So, going back to like some of your other interests and whatnot. So, how do you think AI can be used to kind of enhance the aspects of like fight promotion and martial arts training and all that stuff?
Right now, with a lot of the documents we're using, so using like Dropbox and Google Drive and stuff too, like there's always updates in there about how they're improving, and I see them in the near future, like detecting patterns like that too, you know. So would it be cool for fight promotions and stuff too would be using the same like weight class and record thing and looking at their knockout and submission rate and their decision rate, using that kind of algorithm to kind of put fights together too. I see that happening. There's now, they have like, video games have fight simulators with AI. So it'd be dope if we didn't have to go all the way through EA Sports for like UFC 4 and we had like a computer sim where we could take like the last couple of fights from this person, have all their stuff mapped and put them together and make them do like a simulated fight to see if it's even worth doing, or is the one wrestler going to lay on this guy for 25 minutes and nothing will ever happen? That would be kind of crazy. And which that in turn will probably skew the betting odds too with Vegas, a lot of other companies too, like FanDuel and DraftKings and stuff like that too. So can you imagine somebody coming into a fight, a heavy favorite, and then you put them in like a real legit like simulation, like the most advanced simulation we have, and the other guy beats the living crap out of him, and then all of a sudden he's the big underdog, you know what I mean? But
yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, but the only thing about that is though, there's a lot of human factors in fighting that people don't take into account, So you got like nervousness, the overall human condition about where you are that day, how well you rehydrated after your weigh-ins, like whose mom is calling you on the phone 10 minutes before your fight, complaining they can't get into the front gate because they left their ticket all the way in Fresno, and it's an hour and a half drive to where they're coming to. There's always some little small things, human factors. That's why I think we can never go fully AI with stuff like that. Even with like, I see with aircraft flight all the time. There's drones on our base too. There's drone pilots. They talk about a lot of that stuff too, man. It's like that human experience, man. There's no replacing that, So, it's be nuts, man. So
yeah, that would be
AI referees would be useful. I'd be scared to tell as a damn AI referee because I think a lot of times they'll stop fights too early or too damn late.
Yeah, doing the calculation
according to Jalen Turner's last fight, it took him 27 hits for him to weaken. So if he gets on the ground and get pounded out, I'll let the guy hit him 38 times and then he'll be fine. Fuck that. No, sir. I need somebody with empathy to referee me fighting, Hell no.
Appreciate that, Troy, man. Appreciate the support. Shout out to the homie Troy.
You go to dinner to people, and the waiter says, in the food tower, and your friend orders 2, they get the bill, they were 500 each. Who pays for them?
So is it a backstory behind that?
Dude, I don't know. I still don't even know how this whole food tower thing happened. What show was it? It was either Anaheim or Pomona. Like, somebody ordered food towers or said cool order food towers, and apparently he ended up fronting the bill for them. I don't know. Like, we told them, like, they put the whole bill together, and all of us supposed to, like, we all split the bill, and apparently somebody got the brunt end of the stick, apparently, and never spoke up for themselves until after the fact. So, Troy, what a damn fool. And I told Troy if he bring up food tower again, there's gonna be some furniture moving. So next time I see him, he's in trouble.
Hey, bro. So somebody there like wears a whole bunch of hats, fight promoter, martial arts enthusiast, snake breeder. Like, what's the next big move that you planning in each of these areas?
Eventually, I would like to narrow down all these fight promotions I work for and work for one. So maybe another 4 or 5 years down the line, I would like to be looked at as the next matchmaker for the UFC.
Nice.
You know, so I'm pretty sure that with just that one, I can make just as much money as all the rest of them combined, if not more. You know, especially seeing how the former UFC matchmaker Joe Silva, he had equity in the company, so he had 1% of the company when they sold to WME IMG, and so they sold for I think close to $4.5 billion. So he got a nice little paycheck off that and just completely retired. Where Dana White got his portion and still worked, but Joe Silva took his money and went off into the sunset. You know, I mean, he worked his butt off, and it is a stressful job. You know, so I want to get into a bigger company where I have like equity into some company and do it like that. So whether it's doing something reptile related or fight related or whatever, I'm tired of having like those paychecks and waiting for the sponsor money to kick in and things like that. I'd much rather take equity and part ownership in a company, doing that way and kind of help the build. Which I think honestly, if I was part owner of a company, I would even work even harder because I'm not working for just someone else. I'm working for myself.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. So throughout like all your different like roles and experiences and whatnot, like what would you say is like kind of a common thread or driving force that keeps you motivated?
The need to pay these bills.
Gotta pay these bills.
I live in California, boy. These bills do not pay themselves. Let me tell you, because
ain't no joke.
First of all, I'm not good looking enough for OnlyFans, bro. I can't do no feet pics. I can't. Nah, man. I got a little old man riz in me, but not that much to convince people to give me money based off of that. So I still gotta like be inventive, funny, charming, successful. You know what I mean? All that difficult stuff. So yeah, man, that's first and foremost, man. Like it's survival. But could I be involved in other industries that I really don't care for and making a lot more money and probably being financially more successful? Of course, 100%, man. But I love my reptiles. I love mixed martial arts, and I love military aviation. So,
gotcha.
Can't be mad at that, man. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is come into the snake room and pull over tubs, look at some babies, see how everybody's doing a wellness check too. I'm like in my room, get my stuff. This is my zen. I sit in the middle of the room, take a couple deep breaths, and then boom, we ready to go. So I love doing it, man. When I get around these fighters, man, they represent stuff that I can't do anymore. One, because of my age. Two, because I had like a lot of traumatic brain injury when I was younger, and I couldn't qualify to be a professional fighter too. So just me being a coach, an instructor, a teacher, and now being a promoter matchmaker, it's like the Red Skull from what's his name from the Avengers and shit. I got others to a treasure I can't possess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, So and I just love being around it, and I just appreciate like. I love to see a guy that I saw his very first fight as an amateur, and I seen him in the UFC.
Nice.
That's crazy to me. That's like to me, that's the equivalent of like you making your own double heads and then keeping back a female, and then now hitting a double recessive on eggs and shit with her that you raised up. So imagine having a guy that his first fight he can barely make a fist, and then 5 years later you see him making his UFC debut on the big show.
Yeah, that's gotta be a good feeling.
You know what
I can only imagine.
That's a proud feeling, man. Dude, we had a couple guys. My boy Nolo Hernandez, man. I wrapped his hands as an amateur and as a lower level pro. And when I heard he was making his UFC debut, I cried, bro. I was like, holy, because I knew he was a good kid.
Be a good feeling, bro.
Because dude, a lot of times, man, in these industries, reptile industry, fight industry, whatever, it's not always on merit, man. Sometimes some people do just well just off of who they're around. And we know people like that in every industry,
Oh, yeah. Because it's always a political side to it.
But it's not a knock, though. It's not. You have to be able to meet the right people, and there's some luck involved too. So you got to be in the right place at the right time, too. But aside from those aspects, just seeing the hard work people put into things and watching the fruits of their labors, man, come to fruition is just so amazing, man. And that's the best part about my job, man. Whether it's producing these animals, you know, trying to make it world's first and stuff too. I got world's first in here. Well, I think world's first because I haven't seen anybody else make these combos. But she eats like shit, but she ain't going nowhere. You know, I barely take pictures of her, but she's the worst eater fucking. But I can't let her not eat or fucking stick in the freezer. I'll be an asshole for that. So I've been, you know, I gotta, dude. I'm telling y'all right now, she would be a year old in August, and she's like 80 grams.
Oh wow.
Will not dude? The first 6-7 months, she would not eat. She would like just when you force feed her, she'll regurgitate. So now you gotta wait a couple of weeks again and stuff too. And for some reason, she was still hanging on, man. And I did the repeat breeding. I started it maybe a month and a half ago, and and I was like, "Hey, I'm about to do the same pairing, and I hope I don't hit another one because your ass is going if I do." And I swear to God, that same night she took a rat bite. So if all you guys didn't get your animals to eat, if you've exhausted every other means, if you put them in the car, if you use Da Vinci, if you try to force feed them, fight to sell them, they don't fucking eat.
Hey, get that shit together there. What's the more?
Yeah. Oh, it's a hypo leopard pastave blackhead het pie.
Okay.
So it's a purple. So think of a blackhead leopard Mojave, but it's purple. I posted it before. It's on my Instagram when it was real young, but and then what's crazy is like her third meal, I went to feed her and I put a mouse in there and left and came back and the mouse attacked her. So I actually put like a big lump on her. So now she's double and triple shedding that scar, but it's healing up fine though. But she's still eating. So she took a small mouse before she was doing hoppers and stuff too. So she's getting up in size and took a small mouse the other day. And yeah, she eats every week now, man, and she's got a lot of catching up to do. But like, I'm going to keep her, so I don't really, I don't see her. I don't see her ever going anywhere. And once she fully heals up and stuff too, I'll take some more pictures of her. I'll post her and stuff like that too, and I'll post one of her clutch mates from the first breeding that's twice her size and shit by the time she's ready. But you know, it's all good though.
So with so much stuff going on, man, how do you balance everything?
Balance? Who said I was balancing shit? I'm a wreck.
Say what? You're what?
I'm a wreck. I have terrible time management. I mean, I don't put stuff in Google or Siri. My son, aka my personal assistant, he ain't here. He's trash. He playing basketball somewhere. It's chaotic, man. But I call it's organized confusion, though. You know.
Yeah.
So it works for me. Can it be better? Yes, but the way things work, like, I have all those husbandry apps. I have Husbandry Pro, like the trial one, and I think I have Clutch. I don't use them shits, dude. I know my whole collection by heart. Like I can like blindly throw a dart and be like, oh, that's blah blah blah. Like I see my animals all the time. You know what I mean? Like unless I'm going for fights, I see my animals every single day. Like I know who poops. I know how they supposed to look. I know if they're acting funny. I know stuff starting to look sick. You know, like I'm one of them. My collection is small enough where I don't think it wants me to use that right now. That's why, you know.
Gotcha. Like I use Husbandry Pro right now, but I don't use it for like all the stuff that it can do. Like I'm primarily like tracking pairings and stuff like that. That's the main thing that I'm tracking, and obviously like keeping like an inventory of my animals and stuff like that. But I used to track a lot more Husbandry Pro, but like as I started growing and just kind of got shorter for time, I just stopped tracking a lot of the stuff that I was tracking because it was just, to me, it wasn't worth tracking like I was tracking because it was like taking up so much time. But I'm like you, man. Like I know it. Like I know who's eating. I know who's not eating. I know their mannerisms. I know when they use the bathroom. I know when they're shedding regularly. I do track the pairings, but I don't track as much as I used to track the Husbandry Pro. I wish I did a better job, but at the same time, I don't have like the time really to track it.
And to me, all of my locks have pictures and a short 4-second video with me voicing over it too. Like I do a little video and I'm like, Stranger J trying to spot those head clown to lesser clown. Boom. And you get it in the video and not go back and fix the stuff later that I need to. And I'm doing my clutch cards. So I know when each pairing was, or if I switch to different mail out too, I'm not confused. You know what I mean? So, and then if all else fails, if I get confused about something, I'll just go to my surveillance camera and be like, okay, what I do here? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I screwed up. I've definitely put mails in the wrong tub before because I was BSing, but it was just me on the phone talking, trying to do 3-4 things at the same time because I'm like super ADHD scatterbrain too, So
Did you have a lock when that happened, or did you catch it in time?
no, I caught it in time, and then like she ended up producing, and there was no way the other guy could have been the dad to any of those. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so
Okay. All right, bro. So before I let you get out of here and enjoy the rest of your night, I do have some wrap-up questions for you. So the
Yes, sir.
first one is, if you could live any place in the world, where would it be and why?
Right now, if I say outside the country, it'd probably be Belize. I like that country because they're really like U.S. friendly over there, and I think Belize borders Guatemala as well. And I just love like the tropical environment, the humidity that Central America has and stuff too. It messes my hair up a little bit, but I don't really care about that too much. But yeah, I'm a fan of Belize. I know a lot of people from Belize. I'm a fan of like their culture and their way of life and just how they do things there. So yeah, Belize it or not. I did there.
I think you did there, bro. All right, bro. So, like, with all the changes going on with Morph Market today, if you can add one thing to Morph Market and take one thing away from Morph Market, what would you add and what would you take away?
Oh, I would re-add John Lehman and I would take away Darian and get rid of his ass. No, I'm just messing around. It's funny because people gonna clip that and be like, "Oh, you hear what I said?" No. That's funny. Morph Market. Morph Market. I think the format. It just doesn't. To me, the format and just the design, it just doesn't seem customer friendly. Like if I wasn't a person that's trying to sell animals and I was just as a customer coming in shopping around, I feel like just the way the website is designed, I feel like there's an easier way to shop for animals, if that makes sense. Do I have the solution? No. But I just feel like when I'm shopping as a consumer standpoint, I'm not trying to sell anything and I'm shopping, I feel like the interface, it could be a lot better.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
okay.
that's the ad. So it's just like add and take away. Take away the interface now, add a better one. I don't know if it needs brighter colors or it's monochrome. I don't know what the solution is. I just think about that. Everybody that's watching right now, just don't work. If you have animals, fuck your page. Go through Morph Market like you're buying stuff, and just message me and be like, okay, Antoine, I see what you're talking about, or say, hey, you full of shit, I love it, and I'll be fine either way. And it's off my back and nothing like that too. I mean, that's one man's opinion, but I just want to see who all agrees with me when I do that. I just think it'd be formatted a little bit better.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So if you won $10 million tomorrow, how would you use it?
Strippers and coke.
So in my mind, I knew you was gonna say something like that. I was like, he probably gonna say something about strippers and coke. And then bam.
Because we friends, motherfucker. What you mean? Okay, the real answer. You're gonna click that one too. The real answer, just move to Belize or somewhere where I can have my ball python still. You know what I mean? Just be nice and comfortable with, very little overhead. I'm not this extravagant house. I don't need a mansion. I don't need a place that has more bathrooms than bedrooms. That's silly as hell to me. You know what I mean? So and it could be a ranch home too, because I hate stairs. So it'd be a nice, decent sized ranch home with some acreage where I can have my gun range in the back of my house. I can have my building with my reptiles, my MMA gym, all on the same property, and make it just like a one-stop shop, place to kind of do everything I love, where I have very little chance to go out in town to do stuff, and I'd be happy, man. Like I'd be nice and simple. Yeah, when I have some toys, I have some dope cars and things like that. Yeah, not really. I'm not a car person. I would probably just have like a couple of dope trucks and like some like toys, like some quads and things like that too. But just outside of that, just making sure my family's good. Make sure like all of my kids are adults now. Make sure that they have what they need to help them start their businesses and push their entrepreneurial spirit along. Whatever endeavors they have, and just have a bunch of people around me, man, to hook up my friends. There's a lot of people over the years that literally had my back when they didn't have to. So that'd be my way of paying them back. So
Nice.
that's what I do with the $10 million.
Nice.
And strippers,
bro.
and strippers and coke. And strippers and coke.
And with the leftovers.
with the $85 I got left, strippers and coke.
All right. So if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Let's see. My grandfather on my mother's side, because he died before I was born, but he was also like, if he was alive, he'd be 104 this year. So somebody that was born in the year 1919 is just trying to figure out what the experience was with that too, and him being a multi-war veteran, and just kind of seeing what he had to endure at his age as a black man that time. You know what I mean? So especially from a man standpoint, like my grandmother, I talked to my grandmother before, and I got her experience and how her upbringing is, but I really don't know much about him. So that's always something I would be curious about. And I never. So one of the greatest fighters of all time to me, obviously, and as far as the overall fighter show, was Muhammad Ali. I never got a chance to meet him. Which is cool. I'm good friends with his son-in-law, which is funny. I'm cool with Kevin Casey and stuff too. We chopping up at fights all the time. But I would love to meet Muhammad Ali too.
Nice.
And as far as going like way back farther than that, is like significant like people in history too. There's just so much like conjecture and questions about like conquering civilizations and things like that too. So something just like maybe probably Genghis Khan, and seeing what his motivation was too. Because they say it's still a big population of the world that's like a direct descendant to him, and from everybody else's standpoint in the books, is rape, pillage, and plunder. That's it. I wonder, was there more layers to him than just that? And I'd be cool with being in front of him talking, because I could probably kick his ass in real life, so I'm not really stressing that too much. So I think that'd be a real interesting one. And there's another, because there's multi sides to the story, and the only history you hear is from the people that's still alive. It's hard to speak from the grave what really happened. So that'd be cool too. So my grandfather, Muhammad Ali, and Genghis Khan. That's a wild trio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's one thing you asked Muhammad Ali?
Just that, as far as his strength and conditioning regimen, because I think with somebody his build, we still don't see people with his athleticism and agility with that build right now. He was 6'3", 6'4", with an 80-inch wingspan, and you got like Tyson Fury and tall fighters like that can move, but nobody can move in as fluid as he was. I think so. I think I just kind of curious about that, about where like how he developed his agility, and or was it God given, or was something that he practiced? That's one of the kind of the main things. And two, like I'll actually have a freestyle battle with him, because if you don't know, Muhammad Ali was the first freestyle rapper. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
He was Muhammad Ali was the first person to put bars in front of everybody, just like whether it was rehearsed or off the top too. You know what I mean? He always had some cool sayings and stuff too. So I just wonder how he got slick like that. Was it something he heard growing up, or was that all just original ideas from him? It was crazy.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be a real dope conversation for sure.
Yeah, like just the hyperbole and stuff he said and stuff. He's so fast he can hit the light switch and be in the bed before it get dark, and you know what I mean. Like, if you ever dream about meeting me, you better wake up and apologize. I'm so bad I make medicine sick. I'm so bad I make medicine sick. You know what I mean? No, that's fire. So the kid in me would like to be, learn the entertainer aspect of that, because that's support for me to have right now as a content creator and entertainer as well, to see where that comes from and to have that gift of gab, so that's something I really admire in him.
Nice. Yeah, he was definitely one of the greatest of that, for sure. Hands down. Well, bro, it's been a outstanding episode, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely been looking forward to this one all week. Been looking forward to getting you on the show just in general, man. So I'm glad we was able to make it happen. Is there anything you want to tell folks before we get out of here?
Just I appreciate everybody dropping in. The love and support, like it's always dope. I mean, even the non-support from people who don't like me is always dope too. Because like even the people who absolutely repulsed by everything I stand for, you still watch. So what does that say about you, you crazies? You know what I mean? So, also, U.S. Arc, man, like what we talked about earlier, man, U.S. Arc Florida, U.S. Arc, even if you can't, even all you become is like a little monthly $5 a month member or bronze member, do that, man. There's strength in numbers with everything we do. And like even if these issues right now don't affect your state or where you live at, they will. You know how stuff works, man. A lot of states, when you get legislation passed, to some, it trickles over to others. You know what I mean? Florida is like that. New York is like that. California is like that. A lot of these main states where all the issues are at, a lot of that stuff can ooze over into where you live at, man. So whether it's breed-specific legislation for like mammals too, and reptiles and birds too, all that. Just make sure they keep that money in there, man. These lawyers are expensive, bro. $900 an hour, man. It's a lot,
Yeah. 100%, man. And it's like it's important to like just continuously support, man, because like the fight don't end, the war don't end. You know what I mean? I mean, we right back with the Lacey Act Amendment. So right back into that. And so it's just like one thing after another, one thing after another.
Yeah, can I curse on this platform?
Oh yeah. What's up, TJ? Yeah, for sure.
The Lacey Act, man, fuck that bitch. I mean, that's a girl. So, but nah, just like I said, man, just thanks everybody, man. I appreciate you stopping in. I love what I do. I love having a good time. I hope with today's get up, I gave everybody a nice little chuckle on this too. So.
But you do know we're not in in like a actual war, right? We ain't busting guns, huh?
What? I done bought machetes and damn grappling hooks and shit with me. We ain't going to no damn real war. Oh, this some bullshit, man. Why the fuck? Tell me that, man. Oh man.
Man, it's been great, bro. I really appreciate you.
Hey, likewise, my brother, man. This a long time coming, man, especially with somebody I actually like, love, and respect like you, man. So, I just feel like I should have been on here a long time ago, and I apologize for that. But sometimes it works out for the better,
Yeah, it worked out for the better, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Like I say, it's all love, bro. All love, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Get at you later, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, showing us support, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.
Peace.